Welcome to the EU Masters, where we pit the very best ERL teams against one another while showcasing up-and-coming European talent. 12 regions will compete to decide who will reign supreme over Europe, so be the first to scout and the first to cheer. Let's get right into it. EU Masters begins with the play-in group stage, where all regions will have at least one team represented, with a total of 16 teams divided into 4 groups. Here, each team will play against other teams in their group twice, with the top 2 seeds moving on to the play-in knockout stage. The winners here will move on to the group stage, where 12 teams have already pre-qualified. This group stage is where the teams will compete in a double round robin, with the top 2 teams advancing to the knockout stage. From September 15th to 16th, like before, top seeds will play against the second-seeded teams from other groups in a best-of-3, with winners moving on to the semi-finals. Here, the final 4 teams will play a best-of-3 and fight for their spot in the finals, where it'll be a best-of-5 to determine the next EU Masters champion. Each season, fresh talent explodes onto the Rift. The likes of Nemesis, Kha'Zix, Selfmade and Humanoid all rose up through the EU Masters. But who will be this year's champion? Who will be the next breakout player to make it into the LEC? Join the ride, tag along, and witness history in the making. Bye for now.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the European Masters. We've done a bit of a switcheroo here. My name's Hitbray and I'm joined by Gulborg. We're fresh looking out like a biker gang from Gatford. We're getting ready to go into our final 3 games of the day. Gulborg, how are you feeling, buddy?
I mean, after games like the first 3 we have just watched, I'm feeling ecstatic. I'm feeling hype. This EU Masters already is delivering.
Honestly, those first 3 games were incredible. You can see the standings right now on your screen from those first 3 games. Over in Group D, Fnatic were able to find themselves a win. Group C, Misfits Premier found themselves a win. And also, We Love Gaming. That was a bit of an upset, seeing We Love Gaming get themselves that win. But for me and you, we've been over in the NLC for the last season. And for Fnatic to find that win, we were jumping up and down in the green room. We were getting so excited. But that's been put to back. Now we're going to be looking forward to these next 3 games. We're starting off with Intrepid Fox versus MOUZ. Then it's AG Rogue taking on Movistar Riders. And then Sup Esports versus Gamer Legion. This first game, though, this one's going to be really fun. This is Greece, who've already found a win today. Kind of a little bit unexpected, versus MOUZ from the Prime League. This is one of our strongest leagues here in the European Masters, and we're looking over at MOUZ. I'm looking at the names on your screen right now. This is the same team that we've seen multiple times from them, but in the mid, Leader. This guy he's so storied here at the European Masters.
And you can already see it with the Akali ban coming in. It's just Leader's champion pool they're already trying to target. The thing with Leader is he was actually the guy with most placed champions in his team at playoffs. The rest of them were at 3 or 4 champions mostly, but he actually had a diverse champion pool, and that's something you wouldn't say about Leader last year, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, already we've seen that Evelynn band away, the Cassiopeia. There's the Aurelia from Leader. We knew about that. Same with the Akali and the Lucian. Final ban will be the Caitlyn here. It's over to Intrepid Fox on the blue side, and they're just going to quickly power pick up the Ashe. This is an insanely fast pick and bans right now.
Yeah, and here's the thing, MOUZ Esports actually doing some justice and respect to the Greek League, coming in here with the Cassiopeia ban. Perma banned again Punisher in the GLL as well, so they have done their research and they're not disrespecting. But MOUZ Esports, notoriously known for composition, where they will first pick Kalista and just try to steamroll with promisq and Jeskla.
Well, I mean, that's the bot lane you want if you're going to be looking to steamroll. The fresh Kalista, the Ballista lane, you've got all of that safety, you got all of that pick potential, and it's over to Intrepid Fox now to find an answer to that. For the moment, it looks like they're looking towards their jungler. Something that has snuck through is that Kha'Zix, and LeBron's going to get his hands on it.
For anyone that doesn't know LeBron, he's like the star player of this roster here. He'll pick crazy offensive stuff, even picking Kayn in play-ins, trying to get that last win. And that was not just Kayn in a best of 1. That was Kayn in a best of 3 in the last game, coming out with that one. And then they finalized the composition with the Shen here. I really like that. We have already seen what a Shen and Kha'Zix composition can do in the LEC and other regional leagues. So Intrepid Fox coming straight out of the gates with their own draft as well.
And what I really like about the Shen is the fact that it's still flexible. That
Yeah.
can go bot lane. We saw it bot lane in the last game. It can go top lane. There's a lot of mobility with this pick as far as picks and bans go. We've even seen some regions actually put it in the jungle. Obviously, they've got the Kha'Zix, so that's not going to come through here. But MOUZ, they're rounding out with the Zac for Obsess.
That's a bit of an interesting one. For Obsess, mostly in the German league, we'd often see, we saw this set as a facilitator. We would see the Nocturne combined with the Taric, obviously Thresh off the board now. But Zac now, with that heavy backline damage onto the Ashe, their plan right now is to just make sure she does not get to play the game.
Anti-fun. You don't get to play it right now. Lux is going to get taken away here from MOUZ, and Intrepid Fox now looking to see what their answer out is. For me, I think we're probably going to see Leader get counterpick mid, and I wouldn't expect anything less from the Punisher Leader matchup. When we were doing our prep, when we were talking about this before the show started today, we were expecting blood. And this is going to be a real skill check mid lane, because I think Punisher and Leader is going to be just explosive to watch.
And that's just going to be the name of the game for our first series, the fourth game here. Skill check. Leader loves to skill check. The same can be said for LeBron on the side of Intrepid Fox. You got people who are willing to take risk to try and get leads into this game. So we can expect a bloody game coming out for this one already. Now, bans has been finalized from MOUZ Esports. They're targeting the support champion pool here. So no target CC onto the Kalista with the Nautilus getting out there. The Locks getting removed as well. And on the other side, you can already see they know that Tolkin is going to be blind picking a top laner here, as you said, to give that counter pick to Leader. Now, question is, what's going to be the last one? It's actually going to be a Yasuo onto Leader.
Well, I mean, you don't want to let that get through if he is counter-picking and it's something that can be countered. So they're actually going to lock in the Urgot in the top lane for Tolkin here. How do you feel about this?
I think it's expected. In the playoffs of the Dark League, or Prime League as it's called, we saw 5 games out of the 10 from Tolkin being on this Urgot. They had heavy prio onto this champion. And it's not just something they do to counter anything. They will literally blind pick it on blue side as well. They are confident in this Urgot pick.
And look at that. You were talking about how they're looking to jump onto this Ashe and kind of take out of the game. There's something that can deal with that. There's something that can actually keep the Ashe alive, and it is going to be the Tahm Kench. So I like this rotation here. Now we're looking for a mid laner. What is Punisher going to pick blind into Leader right now?
And here's the thing, we've seen some Punisher Corki so far, and they've liked to be the kind of scaling game. The thing is, with no pressure coming out from a mid lane and the counter pick going over to Leader, we have seen Intrepid Fox kind of falter because that pressure is needed for LeBron in the jungle as well. So if Leader can come up with a sick counter matchup here, we might see LeBron being faltered because there's a lack of pressure in the mid lane.
And if Leader wants to take it a bit more chill, we know he plays things like the Rise as well, something that can sit back and scale. That's in his wheelhouse, but something that he does also like to play is this Sylas. He loves the melee laners. He loves to be able to get up in your face, and it's not quite an assassin. It's more like a bruiser assassin feel with the Sylas, but it's still definitely a Leader champion, right?
And what I like from Leader with this Sylas specifically is that multiple times we have actually seen that he likes to roam in this champion. He likes to facilitate Jeskla, he likes to facilitate promisq, obviously, and that's something that most people probably would not think of Leader. Leader obviously loving these melee champions coming in here. It's his signature, and I think we can expect some high pressure, good roam on the map. And then just looking at the ultimates here, you can take the Stand United, then you got a 1-3-1 composition, you can round out with Urgot and Sylas as well. There's multiple options for you. You want the AP Ashe Arrow? Well, that's AP scaling from the Ashe Arrow. That's going to hurt like a truck.
Yeah, that's really going to hurt. I didn't think about stuff like that, actually. One of those champions that does use some people's ultimates a little bit better than they use their own ultimates. Let's talk a little bit about kind of what this means, though, for these teams. Because obviously, this is the first game of the European Masters. We always say stakes are high. But stakes are high. Intrepid Fox, they want to be following We Love Gaming, who got a win earlier on today. While over for MOUZ, they had a really good group stage with this very roster last EU Masters in spring. But they fell 0-2 to AG Rogue. So they need to come back here, and this is a good start. If they can beat out a region which, you know, maybe a few people were underselling, but I'm starting to get a little bit hyped.
I'm already on the Greek hype train after the first game we witnessed from Relog Gaming. That was honestly insane coming in from them. And obviously Intrepid Fox now coming all the way out from the play-in stage. This is everything to League of Legends players. Performing at EO Masters. This is not just one tournament you're out, okay, better luck next, but this is your dreams. This is where players are made on this stage. So obviously the stakes will always be high here.
I mean, you've seen the video. The runs of it, Scoundrel talking over some of the players that have been pulled out from the European Masters and are currently playing in the LEC. You know, the likes of Crown Shot, the likes of Nemesis. I'm kind of just naming SLO players here, but there's a lot of, this is the feeder. This is your chance to show off what you're made of. So teams are on the Rift and we're getting ready to go into this 4th game of the day. Looks like both junglers will be starting up on their top side.
But here's the difference with the two junglers. LeBron already getting lane pressure to try and help him with the jungle. Over on the other side, Obsess is actually just chilling. He's doing it solo, which means that in turn, Urgot gets to have first priority onto the push, and he gets to dictate the wave state. The same can be said for bottom lane. When they have that Kalista Thresh, they're just going to be aggressive from the get-go.
Well, like you said, from the get-go, he's only going to walk up and get that empowered auto off. As Bako's actually, they're going to fight versus Tolkin here, but he's going to have to make his way back towards the tower. Pretty rough trade there on the top side.
And I hope that they got a pretty good deal together, LeBron and Bako, because when you're selling your top laner like this and letting the Urgot just dictate the push, you're not feeling good. You're just waiting and you're hoping your jungler's going to do well with what you offered him in the early game. Obviously, Bako here playing another facilitating role. That's Shen. Oh my god, that's good damage coming out from Leader in the beginning.
I mean, he missed the chains as well, the second part of the chain life.
Doesn't matter.
That was a lot of damage though already. Kind of what we expected as the play does land to Kyouma. He's going to take a fair amount of damage here, and this is actually going to be the exhaust. Sometimes we see the Tahm Kench take the cleanse for a bit of safety. You know, if the hook lands onto your support or onto you, you can always cleanse it and get both of you out there. But he is running that exhaust, wants to take, you know, some kind of trading power here versus what we expected to be that aggressive lane as Leader. Once again, just looking to punish Punisher here. Has him going low, and Punisher's able to get out to the tower.
And that's the thing about skill checking. Punisher, that kind of mid laner too, is not scary. Oh my god, the bot lane. Oh!
So close. The Ignite is burning, but Kyouma able to survive. The heal comes down from Ashe. And MOUZ, they're not going to find it yet.
I was so close.
No, okay. I get this. There's a lot of hype already. We're only 3 minutes into the game. We're getting a little antsy for some action.
Anyways.
As you were saying?
Yeah. Now we see LeBron obviously helping out Punisher with a push here. I think it's decent. You get a good back, and the wave will push back into Punisher after this back. Leader will enjoy this solo XP. He's still going to have a nice lead into this. And you get a read onto LeBron here. Now, you can obviously see Scuttle already taken. They will be trading this now as well. So far, looking fine for Intrepid Fox. They have not faltered anywhere. They haven't died to the Kalista lane. Leader didn't kill Punisher. Obviously, it's not ideal lane state situation, but you're not dead, and that's perfect in this case scenario.
And Punisher is only down 4 CS right now to Leader, so it's not like he's really losing out. Leader is going to teleport back into this mid lane to get control of the wave before Punisher comes in, but this does mean that the teleport timers will be a little off, and there'll be a slight advantage on the fact that the Corki may be able to turn up in the bot lane as Hook is actually going to land onto the Ashe, gets flayed back and takes a lot of damage. The Gobble comes down, and now LeBron's looking to go into Tolkin. Tolkin flips back underneath the tower, trying to survive as much as possible, but that is first blood to Bako.
And once again, it's coming through LeBron, the pressure, quickly helping Punisher enable his mid lane in a nice wave state. Then immediately up to the top side, there you see that Tolkin is actually a bit, he's pushed up with his wave state, and it's really easy to get in there just to punish it. Once again, LeBron delivering for his team.
And look at the state of this bot lane. This is what you were highlighting at the beginning of the game. They want to go aggressive. They want to put them behind. And when you've got a Kalista, you need to get ahead. You don't want to sit back on your laurels because this Ashe will outscale you. Once the free item mark comes through... Oh, what? Oh, no. Jeskla just gets a double kill out of nowhere.
And I just gotta say it, this guy has always been so undervalued. When you're not following the Prime League, you look at MOUZ and you're like, oh, that's Leader's team. I tell you what, that's Jeskla's team. This guy has been insane.
Well, it might be Leader's team. Punisher, you're in for a world of hurt here. The chains connect. The stretching strikes do go down, but Leader will be able to find this with one last auto attack. Punisher is punished.
And you can already see it here. We guaranteed a bloodbath, and they're just full pedal to the metal here. They just want to continue with that. Punisher obviously still kept his teleport, so he will be able to farm up this wave again. So that's a nice little silver lining for him. But yeah, obviously MOUZ already feeling quite comfortable with their gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, MOUZ feeling really, really good right now. Got a big gold lead. 2-0 onto this Kalista. And it was funny how we were just talking about how, you know, you need to get ahead on Kalista. As we say that, Jeskla just goes, yeah, all right. And just instantly finds the kill. Almost interrupting the gobble there from the Flay. But Dragon's been started up, and it looks like MOUZ should just be able to pick this Ocean Drake up. Now, there is one good thing you can talk about. When Ocean Drake comes up this early, it means you're not looking at Ocean Soul.
You could be looking at Infernal as well, so let's see what comes up here instead. That's going to be the Cloud, and then you're either looking at a Mountain, or you're looking at that Infernal, and you're playing into Mountain, playing into Infernal. Some of the worst ones to play into when you're playing from behind as well. And if on Intrepid Fox, you're just looking to minimize the damage that's already been done, Ashe functions fairly well into the Kalista when you get into that mid to late game. Corki, obviously, when he finally gets that scaling going, perfect for him. But you need to get something going in the mid lane, or in the early game. And so far, it's only been Bako on the Shen, and he's not able to fully, individually get a gold lead out of that himself playing into this Urgot.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the plays can be, though. Obviously, you do have that Shen Kha'Zix combo, so Stan United now available to Bako. LeBron just got his upgrade in level 6, so maybe looking for a play actually into the mid lane onto leader.
And you're exactly right.
A little bit low right now, but it's just going to wait for the wave to crash in. He smells something's amiss.
Obsess also coming down here. Stand United, as you said, is on.
Oh, they go in with the elastic slingshot. Do find the stretching strike. They jump straight in. The Shen's coming down to Stand United, but it's not going to complete in time. Leader now looking for LeBron, but LeBron is out of there. MOUZ find the kill in the mid.
Once again, a hook onto him in the bot side. There is the FLICKR.
Yeah, Kyouma's taking a lot of damage though. The ignites on the rend isn't quite enough. Oh, they're going in! promisq flashes forward, actually gets slowed down. Now Jeskla, he's the one taking a little bit of damage here. MOUZ maybe caught out a little bit of a hairy situation. The exhaust gets thrown down. Jeskla just flashes forward as the hook goes wide, but Gagai able to find himself a response, and he gets a shutdown onto Jeskla.
Oh, and he continues.
He's got the arrow. promisq, this is just non-stop action. One more volley secures a double kill. Bot side for the side of Intrepid Fox.
You can't look away here, Pride. You need to follow the action all the time. It's insane here. Honestly, in the mid lane here, it kills him before Stand United can even come through. I actually think it's interrupted in the top side as well. Immediately exploded, goes on to LeBron, but he is out of there. And then the bot lane, the action continues on the map 24/7. Nobody gets a rest here. FLICKR coming in, saving him. And then they become a little bit greedy here. You got a huge wave that you can try and zone them off if you want to. There's no need to try and commit this hard onto it. And we were talking about scaling. How will they get back into the game, Intrepid Fox? Well, if you deliver a double kill to Gagai like this, they may have found a way back.
I mean, this is what we were talking about. When we did our prep at the beginning of the day, I looked at this game and went, "Good ball, we're in for a very one-sided MOUZ game, right?" And you're like, "No, we're in for a bloodbath." And yeah, this is a...
And that's the fun thing about teams that like to skill check. They're confident in themselves. Most people would be like, you need to respect the enemy. And they're like, yeah, I respect it, but I'm still going to kill them. And that's exactly what they're trying to do here. And that often leads to overextension. But it's also just a core of limit testing, honestly.
They're looking once again to go on a Punisher. Punisher is having a very unfun game on the Corki right now. He did actually have that package a little bit earlier. And the key thing to note about that is his package won't be synced up for the next dragon. He actually picked that up way after the dragon was taken. So if we're looking at a package syncs with dragon, that'll actually be the third Drake that will be coming up. And now Bako, maybe on the receiving end of a little bit of love from MOUZ, but that pink ward will spot them out, and that would be enough to deter MOUZ for now.
And he's been quite solid, Bako, honestly. Got a lead, trying not to fall behind, and it is the composition that we talked about with the Kha'Zix and the Shen. The Stand United, when you're invisible, trying to get in on the carries could be a quick way to mantleize the Jeskla Kalista here, but so far he's under pressure.
Yeah, they're looking to go on a Bako. Do find that stretching strikes, but he's able to taunt away to safety, so Bako's going to be okay, but this does give them priority in this top side, and MOUZ, they're hovering around here. They want to get that Herald. They want to extend the leader's lead even more, and with Tolkin now able to move out of the lane, they will be able to start this up, and mid lane's pushing in, top lane's pushing in. Intrepid Fox really can't answer out here.
And the setup is perfect in terms of timing. He can get this Rift Herald. There'll be time enough to set up for the Drake if a fight doesn't pawn out here.
LeBron's looking for it. He's going to use the invisibility. The taunt comes out by Bako. That's massive. Punisher firing away on the side. I do believe that MOUZ got the Rift Herald, but LeBron able to jump away to safety. Ashe comes in from downtown. Obsess gets hit. And nobody dies. And they actually Abyssal for here, Jin to the hook of promisq. The box gets thrown out, and Leader just pulled him with a lantern. MOUZ cashing in on a kill.
Oh, he came so late to the party, and by the time he came, he got instantly kicked out. LeBron still might be on the receiving end here.
Yeah, they are looking for him. They just exchange looks as they fly by each other.
Yes. Oh. Well, that was a bit of a comic relief in this bloodbath of a game so far. But you can see that both teams not willing to give up anything. Intrepid Fox might feel like by they're behind, doesn't stop LeBron trying to find the windows and opening to get out. And here will...
Yeah, I mean, it was a really sick taunt. They got the ultimate off on the Stand United. That bought enough time. Two-man taunt comes out. Punisher, I thought this was actually a good fight for them. They got so much damage out, but they just couldn't get enough to stick. Even with the Ashe connecting, at that point the fight was done. Intrepid Fox, they were out. They were too low. And then just a really, really questionable Abyssal Voyage from Kyouma.
I don't know what he tried to get out of that one, but in the end it did still happen. Bot lane.
Yeah, they're going to get the gobble off, and that's just going to be Jeskla getting a little bit of damage. I say a little bit of damage. Kyouma half health, does have a little bit of health to heal back up, though, so he'll be okay. Rift Herald gets summoned, though, in the bot lane, and that was what they wanted to do. Funnel as much gold onto this Kalista as possible, though Jeskla actually going to hop out of range, just about gets close enough to be able to pick up the Herald for himself. Sorry, the tower for himself, as they were looking for a play once again bot lane with the gobble down.
But you don't have to do much here. You can get the second charge in. You have the pressure from mid lane. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no Stand United, available Iter. So that jungle, you know, you might have thought it was yours if you're a LeBron, but in reality, it's not. It's MOUZ roaming around in the jungle. And now they can just back out, do the exit objective of the Cloud Drake as well, and they're already starting to stack up those Drakes.
I mean, we haven't really talked about the Drake win condition because they're just smashing everywhere right now, but this is also a potential win condition. They're looking at a very early soul as the Cloud Drake will get picked up by Obsess. Leader, though, on the other side of the map, looking to make a play, having a Bako. They have that fear beyond death. They land their flip, they pull him in, and Bako is just devoured by Tolkin.
Straight into the meat grinder. Just to get back to what you were talking about, Drake, objectives, win condition, all those standard terms in terms of casting as well. MOUZ esports, they're just playing so well individually and how they play around on the map to get around with the plays that Drake is not necessarily a win condition for them. You can already see how far ahead they are, and Drakes are just the exit objective. They are playing for the pressure to get the towers, to get control of the jungle, and in return, Drake will just be available for us.
It's the cherry on top of this, Kate. That's all it is for them right now. Beautiful stuff from MOUZ, and this is kind of what we expected. It is still a bloodbath. We are still seeing some challenge from Intrepid Fox, but I think it's fair to say that this is probably one of the more one-sided games we've had today. Although we have had a lot of very, very explosive games, and this game's keeping up, I think, with the other games we've had at the beginning of today.
They are. We can't count out Intrepid Fox yet at all. They do still have that scaling element onto their composition. The problem for them right now is that they're on a timer, right? You already got 2 Drakes onto MOUZ. Next one, you're at 3. And the next one after that, you're at 4. Yes, I can count. And that means you get Ocean Soul. And at that, not Ocean Soul, but the Mountain Soul. And at that point, it's really hard to play it out. Because you got some beefy members on top of that. You got the sack you need to break through. You get a Thresh who's stacking with the Souls. And you know, Souls getting armor. Then the Mountain Drake applies to that as well. You just get more of that.
So what is the game plan right now for Intrepid Fox? What are they looking to do? We're at that 15-minute mark. The gold lead is heavily in favor of MOUZ right now. Intrepid Fox, they're behind. Gagai obviously does have those 2 kills to himself, down heavily in CS. But what is the game plan?
They need to know that MOUZ also likes skill share. You do have a Shen with the Stand United. You can get a Corki with the package. As soon as the next Drake get on the map, you need to find something to trade it for. You need to get an advantage somehow, because you don't beat them on 5-on-5. You need to find a pick, either leading up to that through some cheesy objective or vision control, or you need to be smart trading as soon as the next objective respawns.
Tolkin's sitting in this bush here. He does actually have LeBron waiting about, but they find the taunt off onto him, and they are looking for a little bit of damage. LeBron comes in with the invisibility, the flip back and the flash out from Tolkin. Actually throws down that fear beyond death into LeBron. just to slow him, but Punisher with the package is just gonna lay down the carpet, and Tolkin will finally go down. Punisher finds himself the kill, but now he's stuck in a position where Leader may be able to close in on him. Throws out the Hex Tech Hosepipe, flashes forward, and Leader, 1 versus 3, is able to find himself a kill. Goes invisible as he steals LeBron's ultimate, throws out another chain lash. Leader, he is not done right now. Looking for LeBron, jumps in, chains come down. Leader gets another one. He's found himself a second kill as he's looking for the triple. It's an unofficial one, but Leader, 1 versus 3, shows up.
And he delivers on the hype this man has every goddamn time. Honestly, insane play with the Kha'Zix ultimate. He's so patient of when to use his abilities. He's just waiting for the right time for the cooldown reduction to get in with the abilities. And then that chain landing onto the Kha'Zix after that one. That is just a cherry on top.
Remember, Leader has won the European Masters before. Sure, it wasn't with MOUZ, but he is looking to do it again. This was just gorgeous by him.
In the end, it's exactly what we were talking about. How do Intrepid Fox get back? Well, you need to be creating a place around the side lane. You got the package coming in here, and it's a kill. The problem is, MOUZ got Leader, and Leader's pretty far ahead as well. And he's pretty good in the game, apparently. Coming in with this one. What did you call that, GLP?
Hextech Hosepipe.
Okay, sure. Did not hear about that one before. Comes in, flashes onto him, get the nice pick onto Punisher. Immediately steals the Kha'Zix ultimate. And this is where the fun begins.
It was so beautiful because he stole it and it just allowed him space to buy time for his cooldowns to come back up, so he didn't just get instantly blown up. Just really, really flawlessly executed from him. We knew he played this Sylas. It's something he played back in the Dark region. 2 incredible success there as well. And Leader just having the game of his life right now. Second Rift Herald is going to get started up. We're 17 minutes into this game, and MOUZ are just miles ahead of Intrepid Fox right now.
And this is really fun because it correlates back to what we saw beforehand with the other Drake. They do Herald, they get pressure, and they get the exit objective with Drake. Exactly what they're doing again. Meanwhile, Leader might get caught.
Yeah, Leader is in for a little bit of hurt here. Gets a massive hit off on the Kingslayer. LeBron's looking for Leader. Leader's waiting for his cooldowns, throws out the chain lash, and LeBron looking to come forward. They do have the ultimate coming in. Teleports are buying some space, and Leader maybe looking to turn it around. Just going to recool in their face. They can't even find the punish there, but now the rest of MOUZ are closing in. The Rift Herald gets summoned, and the rest of the team are joining in. Leader's got teleported. He's going to join up. Obsess jumps in forward, and that will be the end of the Tahm Kench as he's taken down. Gagai underneath the tower has nowhere to go, and LeBron is the only one standing right now as Bako takes a hook on the other side of the map, and MOUZ are just running away with this right now. promisq able to survive, and MOUZ have cracked open the base at 18 minutes.
Shelly's not dead yet. You might even get a tower and the Nexus here. This might be the game we're witnessing right now.
Can they close this? I mean, the death timers are still fairly lengthy. Leader lands himself the hook, gets the interrupt off Punisher. He's just going to go down. Rift Herald's still alive. He's looking for another charge. Is going to finally die, but the Nexus has been left bare. We are 19 minutes into the game, and MOUZ just stomp Intrepid Fox.
I mean, Jake, you were talking about Dragon win conditions. They've already got the streak going for it, but no. This is just Leader with that triple kill. The rotation's coming in after while he trades 1 for 1. Oh, not even 1 for 1, just 1 for 0 onto that Corki. I mean, just mechanically, individuality is just better from MOUZ here.
For me, that was just like, this really throws a lot in the air for Group D. That was a very, very scary MOUZ looking in that game, and for Intrepid Fox, it was a tough loss, but again, it is a very hard team to play versus. This is MOUZ. This is one of the top teams coming into the European Masters, and you know, we expected this from them, but just overall, really, really fantastic game there from MOUZ. Now, guys, we are going to throw to a quick break, and when we're back, we're breaking down that game a little bit more, so we will see you in a second.
Feeling
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the EU Masters. I forgot the name of the tournament. We're only one game in, I've already forgotten. Man, what a game from MOUZ. That was just dominance from Leader. Jeskla obviously had a really good game in the bot lane, but I think you have to sing the praises for Leader in that game. He was a beast on the Sylas.
Honestly, yeah, I think you put it quite perfect. I don't know what else to say after something like that. The man was insane, that triple kill, just going up for it. Oh, we actually get it on the screen right now. Obviously, in the beginning, as we talked about, pretty nice play from Intrepid Fox, trying to find a way back into the game. Leader, though, immediately there to shut it down. Flashes onto the Corki, gets the kill, steals the Kha'Zix ultimate, no damage coming through, and all it is about right now is waiting for the cooldowns. He doesn't need to auto-attacking it, doesn't need to do anything. Q, invisibility, dead, and then, of course, the last Sylas passive coming in to take care of the Shen.
Watching that back, what was Bako's flash? Did you see that flash?
No,
he just flashed away. Like, I don't know. I actually have no idea what he was doing there, but I mean, that's just the pure fear of Leader. Turning invisible on Sylas is a horrible thought. And he just got so fed. And, you know, this is what we saw from MOUZ last time, though. They had an incredibly dominant group stage. It was them falling a little bit short as we moved into the playoffs. They got 0-2'd by Ago Rogue. And, you know, they don't want to repeat that. They want to show that this is one of the strongest teams in the EU Masters.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, this should have been a nice play where you could just get him, but, you know, immediately Leader kills Punisher, and straight after that, this is actually us witnessing the end to the game, Jay.
Yeah.
This is literally the play that causes the victory for MOUZ. They've picked up the Herald. That means this tower you're standing under, it's just nothing. It's literally just dismantle. And speaking of dismantle, well, where's Intrepid Fox? They're just getting evaporated on the map.
That Rift Herald took 3 towers and an inhibitor, and they got a team fight while it was being summoned. It was just, overall, it's just flawless stuff from MOUZ. Kind of expected realistically from them, maybe not this one-sided. And for me, this throws into question, what is the rest of Group D going to look like? We saw Fnatic get a pretty close win earlier on in the day, and MOUZ, they just got an incredibly one-sided game. Now, obviously, for us, it's a matter of seeing how MOUZ fare versus the likes of Fnatic Rising, and how Intrepid Fox fare versus the other teams in the group as well, because if they put a fight up and it's not just as one-sided, then it shows that actually MOUZ are just miles ahead of the rest of the team group. But I think this group could be an insanely exciting group. Now, Intrepid Fox, they could have just got the short end of the stick. That is a worry, but man, that MOUZ is scary. And obviously, you know, we're NLC boys. We're here kind of a little bit in the fan group for Fnatic Rising right now, but I worry that this MOUZ is just going to be too much for them.
I think it's interesting because it's also a question of stylistics of the two teams, whereas we've already seen that MOUZ, in terms of what they pick, in terms of what they do, quite unique. Coming in from, for example, Fnatic, that also likes to play a 1-3-1 with Brian and the Camille, Mackie Felix onto the Lucian, and then obviously Matty with the Cartus. That's two different kind of compositions you're coming in with. And it's that's so interesting every time at EU Masters when you see, okay, this is being played in this region, and this is being played in that region. Now we collide these two teams with each other, and we just get a brawl of a game, seeing two stylistic clashing against each other.
Group D is looking delicious, but we still have more games to go, and coming up after the break, we've got Ago Rogue taking on Movistar Riders, so we'll see you in a second.